runs a real estate company, and he's my business partner and brother. I am Kwabena Pepra. My brother here is Kwabena Ayubi. He is in the banking industry. My other brother, from another mother, is Kweju Saka. He's also a real estate developer. And over there we have Mr. Franklin Peters. Yes, he runs a printing and advertising firm in Ghana called Inkit. He prints on everything from stone to metal, but money and passports. Even that one, he says if the government gives him the go ahead. Next to him is the youngest driver in the team. Wow. He's Franklin's son, Quincy. He's a student in the States. He came home on vacation and decided to join the dad. Then we have Kojo Ayubi, the brother of Kwabena Ayubi. So it's a family affair of sorts. And next to him is Mr. Ed Cyprian. He entered their house and took their sister. So he's the brother-in-law. The gentleman there is Kojo Praka Asante. He lives 50% in Ghana, 50% in the UK. And he's our brother supposed to be on the trip with us. Something's held him back. And he said he wouldn't miss it for all the gold in Ghana. So he flew in yesterday. And he's working us in his house down in Chelford. Yes. We are very happy to see all of you. This adventure didn't set out like this. It was a simple thing. We were trying to tick a few boxes of our bucket list. And somehow, when we started, it gained a life of its own. It grew bigger than we ever anticipated it to. So along the line, we found a charity that we all believed in and decided to use all the popularity being gained to advance that cause because we are all benefiting from it in Ghana. Mr. Kwabena Ayubi will tell you a lot more about the charity. But we are a group of friends. We do travel a lot. We've traveled the length and breadth of Ghana for the last 3-4 years. We have planned to do this trip as part of our bucket list sometime in 2020. And then COVID hit, and the doors were locked. We couldn't go anywhere. So during that period, we just ended up running around the country. We hear of a funeral somewhere, and we just go, whether we know the person or not. Yes. We went around the whole country so many times. So the borders were open, and we rekindled that decision. Charlie, let's do it again. This my brother, when I say let's go, he says, Brahma Accra. Then we kick it. So we started talking about it again, the preparation, the research, and everything else we went through. I must say the Ghanaian missions on our route have been very, very, very supportive. They have carried us along everywhere we've gotten to. They've met us, hosted us. I mean, they just prepared the way for us, you know. So I would like to thank the Ghanaian diplomatic community for that. And we would also like to thank, there's a man here, Daniel, yes. Yes. Daniel, we don't know him anywhere. He just called us out of the blue that I've heard you're coming and I want to help you people through the system. Daniel hosted us when we arrived. He organized a welcome party. He's done so much for us, and I'm very grateful. I wouldn't want to talk too much because for now, our focus is on the charity, Yubima. And I would like Mr. Ayubi to continue with the charitable aspect of all of this. That's why the AG
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, Deputy High Commissioner. All protocols observed. I think we're beyond honored that you've taken the time out to actually organize this reception for us. I don't think any time on the road when we discussed what it would be like when we entered London, we anticipated this. We had booked a small hotel in Maidstone. We were planning to go there, sleep the night, have lunch, and then maybe drive to Scotland and see. But I think everything, we've adapted ourselves to the welcome that has come in. Your Excellency, you said something that for me is very pertinent to the core part of this whole adventure. You said you may be in Ghana, but can be competitive globally. And I think if we take that phrase and apply it to every young person in the country, I think we will all be aligned in moving our great nation, Ghana, forward. So I came to hear about this charity called EduSports from my daughter who is schooling here. It's this British lady who had been sent on a research project to Ghana about 8 years ago. So she went there and she thought there was something that she could do in the rural communities to help. But it was just her own resources. She didn't have any sponsors, so she felt she needed to go about it in a different way. She needed a model that is owned by the community and is volunteer-led. So that is when she started EduSport. Why EduSport? I think she liked the concept of what we call sports in Ghana. All our bars where people congregate, talk, discuss issues. So that's where she then built that name from. So when I reached out to Teddy, because I had seen him talking about it a few years ago, so when he put it out again that we want to do this, I called Teddy and said, Teddy, can I join? And he said yes. And I said, Teddy, here's an idea that I have, right? Because this is something that will bring so much focus. This is something audacious. So if we put our resources behind this charity, I think we can impact life. And they jumped on it because they've been driving around Ghana. They've also observed the clear digital divide in our rural communities. So if you then look at what EduSports is trying to do with the 50 community-led libraries that they have established, I think we just realized we have made a mistake. Because yesterday, the founder of the charity met us in Ashford. So at the next opportunity, maybe on Saturday, we'll make sure she's there as well. She should have been here to tell the story even better than I can. So what we then said is, if we can raise some funds and then help them take these sports into the digital age. Some of the children who come there have never even seen a tablet. And to quote one of the kids there, she said, the reason I want to get a computer or a tablet is that those animals that I've heard about, I want to see them and see them move. That's the simple desire. It's not about playing games, it's not. So there is so much, and when we set 100,000, there were so many of us who said, that's too little. Let's be more ambitious. Right? But we said, let's start with something small. Let's help equip them. Let's not think that if you go to any of the sports, you're going to see a fancy building there. No. This might be a small part of a classroom. It might be a building that a local leader has donated or the local communities have established. But they are impacting things in a strong way. So that is it about the charity. It was right from the beginning of putting the planning in place. We considered the fact that actually we could make an impact. And thanks so much to everybody. I think yesterday as we came in, we saw little donations coming in. Every single thing. That from the £2 that I saw, £3, to this amazing guy who put $1,000 in there. There's another person, from nobody we know, putting $500 and wrote this very beautiful poem that supported the donation. We feel that we can take this adventure, highlight the digital issues we have in Ghana, support our local children, and take them to the next step in life. So that's what we're doing. But if I may digress just a little to add on a couple of points. Along the journey as well, we learned a lot. We learned how a welcoming border makes life very, very comfortable for those who want to visit a country. We learned how top-class infrastructure from one end of a country to the other end makes travel so seamless. Right? These are all lessons that we believe that as a nation we can all pick up. So we think this our adventure has opened all of us our eyes. We hope to contribute in our own small way to the discourse back home on some of these pertinent issues. So, Your Excellency, thank you once again for honoring us and giving us this opportunity to share our thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much to the Wanderlust Ghana crew. Your has been an amazing one. And as the High Commissioner did indicate, we must be daring and we must dare to do. Anybody from the delegation wants to add a couple more? Quincy? Quincy is the star boy of the... Quincy, you want to come on, say something.
I want to say thank you very much for having us. And it's been an amazing trip and we've learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Quincy. Time is fast, but at this moment we have the press, the media here. Probably you will ask a few questions about how the whole thing went from Mali to Morocco to Spain, how it all panned out. So I want to open the floor for the media to come with their remarks, suggestions, and questions. Who's going to have the first go? All right. Well done.
Thank you. Nana Cheche Show on Omega TV.
Stand up.
I want to ask a wonderful congratulations for such an awesome and amazing trip. But how did you say you prepared, but mentally and health-wise, how did you? Because such a long journey, you have to check. Did you have anybody who was in the medicals, or how did you prepare? Thank you.
Good afternoon and thanks. Because we've been talking about doing this for a while, and because we have been doing it, last year some of us went to climb the Kilimanjaro. What it takes to climb the Kilimanjaro is far more than what it takes to sit in a luxurious 4x4 and drive to London. So generally, we are people who take our regular exercises serious. For this drive, we made time to stop. We had pit stops to buy fuel, to catch a snack, to stretch. We spent our evenings sleeping. We slept the average of 6 hours every night, so that we'll be able to do the long drives we were doing. In planning, we spoke to people who had done the journey from Europe to Africa, a number of them, and the advice they gave us is priceless. It really helped us in our counter plan to come from Accra to London. So basically, a lot of planning, a lot of research, a lot of thinking has gone into this. That is why it seems like we've executed it flawlessly, but it's because we did a lot of good planning.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay, we have one hand here.
Thank you very much. I'm Lovely Amma from Omega TV. We host community news every week with Archbishop Frimpong Manson, and I also do interviews. Thank you very much for putting Ghana on the map once again, and congratulations to you on your journey. I have two in one question. The first one is, why was it kept a secret when you started the journey? Because I feel like it would have been more out there, the news, more money would have been raised for the good cause that you are telling us about now. And I wonder why nobody knew until a couple of days back when it became a world news. Number two, what were the biggest challenges you faced on the journey, and how did you deal with it? Thank you very much.
Okay, so two questions. Why did you make this public from the outset? Secondly, what were the challenges encountered on the journey? 2 questions.
Thank you for that question, or those questions. I'll handle the first one, and now I'll handle the second one. We knew we were going to travel through quite some trouble spots. Within the sub-region, there are certain areas where a few challenges are ongoing. And so we didn't have to draw any attention to ourselves that we were available to be taken for any reason. So first of all, from a security standpoint, we had to fly under the radar and get out of the trouble spots before we could start telling our story. So that's why we didn't make any noise about it.
Yeah, thanks. In terms of the challenges, I think the challenges in and of itself were some of the valuable lessons that we picked up. First of all, trying to coordinate 5 cars, and we started off as 30 people, is not an easy feat, right? It's getting to understand each and everybody and the value that they bring to the whole journey was critical. So I think those dynamics were some of the first initial things that needed to be smoothed out. So to be fair, not every one of us has been partaking in the funeral tourism or climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, right? So in coming in, we then have to learn how to adjust, right? So that first of all is the team dynamics. Then second of all is the reality. So talk about border crossings. So for me, that's one takeaway in terms of a challenge. And I'll juxtapose border crossings in Africa versus our experience in Europe, right? In Europe, we entered, at no border has anybody asked us a question about our cars. Nobody has asked to see any paperwork. And there's a phrase we learned in Africa. It's called card grease. Laissez-passer. Nobody has asked for that. So the border crossing piece, I think, is a challenge. Entry and exit in our sub-region or in our region is difficult. It's difficult even amongst the ECOWAS community. It is difficult. So that's the first thing that we can do for ourselves as a people, is to ease movement. Once we've decided that these people are free to move, let's make it a reality. So border crossing is a key takeaway. But let's not look at it from the scenario of even the travelers. The people working at the borders and the facilities available to them need to improve. I will not mention a country, but in one of the countries, the health officer checking our yellow cards was sitting under a mango tree. The immigration officer was sitting on the front balcony of somebody's house. Right? That's the reality. Second is the infrastructure piece that I talked about. Right? So there's the good, then there's the bad. Now, roads. We are traveling by roads. So roads is the pertinent infrastructure that we observe. Where the roads were done, and in this case, I won't mention a country. So Senegal. From entry to exit, the roads were perfect. We paid tolls, and very expensive tolls are done, but none of us complained, right? So the willingness, I think there's always a willingness to pay when the infrastructure is there. So it's worth investing in that infrastructure. When it is not good, it is a challenge. And I think that's why maybe, so if you take, and the Ghana leg was a bit slow. Accra to Kumasi. It was slow. Yeah. So Accra to Kumasi, anytime you think about that travel, you get stressed. But actually, once we hit certain countries and we say, oh, it's 800 kilometers to our next stop, we just do it. Right? So the infrastructure is another challenge that we will call out. And the border piece as well, there can be extremes, right? And I think some of the challenges we had in countries like Mauritania are out there, right? So I think I can generalize that to say across our nations, we can make life so much easier for us all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have 2 questions from our compatriots who are looking at it from the Zoom angle. One person said, which of the countries were hostile to you? I think probably because you mentioned one country, so you want to answer that. And then the second question is, Well, it's not a question really, it's a remark. I'm grateful you have thrown light on the need for cooperation between Africans, especially at the borders. Then Joanna Benafiani says that how can we be united if we have issue at our own borders? Oh, Africa, well, so that's just a quick remark. So those are from the computers watching via Zoom. Do you want to take a question on which of the countries was hostile to you?
I think it would be wrong to say any country was hostile to us, right? I think we need to separate individual behavior from state behavior. So whilst we had a bad experience, say, on entry into Mauritania, I think it would be remiss to say they were hostile. Because whilst we were going through all that stress, there were acts of kindness that were also happening. There was one fellow at the border who decided to dress up Cyprian in all their traditional attire, right? Which he got a very lovely shootout. So I wouldn't say any country was hostile. And there's even the positive of the kindness. And that's where we need to be proud as Ghanaians. I think we never really realized how much people know Ghana and appreciate us as a nation. From the two people who were sitting under, I think, a baobab tree when we veered off the main road because it wasn't good, and then recognized our number plate and said, Ghana, Etisain, right? That was amazing. To the policeman who in Senegal, who could have given me a ticket because I misunderstood the amber light. And he stopped me, and then once I explained we were from Ghana, he changed and became so excited. To the Moroccan policemen who, when they came across Teddy driving, asked him, recognized us from Ghana, and decided to escort them with a motorcade. Emphasis on Abedi. So that is our footballers, and as much our footballers have done so much for us. So anytime Ghana comes, then there's that instant association with the football stars. So we really need to appreciate our footballers for how far they've carried our country down.
Go ahead.
David Owusu-Yanuma, community servant. Gentlemen, you've really done Ghana proud. You really have. And I think everybody's proud of you. My question is this. With British Airways fares being so extortionate these days, it's so expensive for a family of 4 to travel. Do you see a business that you guys have launched whereby families will be able to travel to Ghana by coach?
Thank you very much. I think I'll add one more from our colleagues on Zoom. Someone asked, collectively, how much did you spend on fuel? Collectively, how much did you spend on fuel? I don't know if you want to divulge that, but that's a question. And how long did the journey take? So, first question, British Airways, whether people can travel by coach to Ghana, how much did you spend collectively on fuel, and how much did the journey cost?
As it is with, you start to build your own house, and you usually have a budget. In the first few months or years, you record everything. It gets to a point, you just throw it out. You forget about recording. So the truth is, I don't know how much you spent so far. That's the honest truth. I haven't had time or contemplated me putting it together. We just go with the wind, as it is. To the question of making it a regular route for vacationists, it is very possible. We were 2, 1, 3 in a car at most. So the fuel consumption per capita is a bit higher. However, if you have a 50-seater bus, then it comes down. It's going to take, we took 16 days to get to Dover, right? And we drove very fast, where the route permitted. So for a coach, that's going to be extra longer. And then you would figure out someone has a vacation for, say, a month, and he's going to spend all of the month on the road. So that is the part which may make it a bit, but if you really want to do that and you can dedicate the time, it's relatively easier to do that. And it's going to be cheaper when you have more people together.
And it's going to be beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful things to see. On the drive to London from Accra, we have seen some very beautiful parts of Africa. that you would never see but if you travel Africa by road. It's an ardent hope that people will take it on for their vacations and drive around Africa.
Thank you very much. And that questions. How did the families cope with this decision, especially those who have kids from Obaya? And Bridget asked, was there any point where you had regrets, where you asked, oh God, what have we done? Who's going to take that?
I can take that for you.
Mr. Peters. Oh, Mr. Peters. Oh, you had regrets. I didn't know that.
No, we didn't have any regrets. We actually enjoyed the trip, and driving through the desert was very, very treacherous. There was no sign of life anywhere, and it was windy and the sun blowing on us. So, but we actually enjoyed it. No regrets.
What did your family think? Yeah, family.
Oh, my wife supported me. If not, I couldn't have brought my son. She gave us full support. Yes.
All right. Any more? Oh, okay.
Thank you. In the first place, I will say Akwaba. There's a song who says, wherever I lay my heart, that's where my home is. So, in the first place, I would like to ask, people have been talking a lot about how you started. And in terms of there's a company of a car plant that should have helped you, and it didn't happen. I want you to say, correct it or say whatever about it. Secondly, I'm so shocked. You are from Kwetia? Yes. I was teaching at St. Peter's. And also, I was the English master, even though my English is nobody. The third point is that I heard rumors that either your father or your mother, they are from Aguna Nsaba. Is that true? I want to.
So both of us are from Aguna Nsaba. Both parents are so we're 100%.
Oh, Alabama. So, if you can say a word or two about what I asked as initial. Thank you. I said car plant or there's the company which should help. People are
all right. Okay, so the car plant, that should have helped. So keep that in mind. Philip, Eagle Media.
So hi, my name is Philip Oseibre. I'm the Chief Executive of Eagle London Agency. And welcome guys to London. A great and exciting expedition you guys have undertaken and put Ghana on the map. I mean, I know people all over the world are asking, and admiring and probably wanting to do the same. But I think an action like this will require a united team with vision, with one mind and focus. Could you share how you were able to come together as 13 people to really agree on a common cause and see this through to success? Thanks.
Okay, so you need plan. Question number 2. Hold on. Let me go to Osafo from Palma.
Thank you. Hallelujah. Everybody say amen. I used to say, this is my story. So you have got a story. First of all, I just want to congratulate you for this adventure. And also thank God for the High Commissioner for hosting you today. You know, one thing you have done is you can make it. You have done it. And you have put Ghana on a high platform. Everybody is talking about it, and we appreciate it. And it's an example for everyone to just make that decision. Because always there's wilderness before us. Even from Egypt to Canaan, instead of 13 days, it took them 40 years. but they were able to go to the promised land. So I just want to thank God, because I remember I was illegal here, and I was a strong Labour Party activist, and I made application to become an MP. And I was sitting at the office, somebody called me, the lady Jabba. They called me, Archbishop, can you support a lady who's going to compete for the by-election? He said, let her bring her CV for me to read it. So the lady posted it and read it. I said, if he's going to be MP, also can be MP. And I took the challenge, the same thing. I took that and called the office in there. And I said, can you drop me the by-election form? So they drop it. And out of 65 candidates, I was along the last 16. And the day I was going to interview, I told God that if Joseph had been the prime minister in Egypt, in prison, so I can be an MP. And the same challenge you have done, so just want to thank you, Lord, that you are situated. It's going to enhance the challenges, and all those who are in fear, they will come up. And the support, we are going to, on Omega TV, I am a community leader here, we are going to sell the vision, especially for the rural areas where you want to develop. And then we have been learning a lot, so we're going to support you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. So the question about car companies that approached you for help, it's been rumored on social media.
Thank you for that question and the opportunity to explain what actually did happen. Like I said, we've been thinking of this for a long time, and we've done lots of other road trips. And we do them with good cars. Cars we acquired ourselves. We didn't beg anyone for a car. It's when we were really about to set forth on this mission that we considered, would it make sense, since we all promote made in Ghana, if we added something made in Ghana for the props? So we agreed. I mean, it was a no-brainer. So we agreed and made efforts to speak to several car companies. Now we've got a few of them in Ghana manufacturing. So we spoke to a lot of them. On the whole, many didn't really take it seriously. They give excuses. But there's one particular one who we never even got the opportunity to meet the CEO because he was always busy. We made several attempts. His PA would say, oh, he's busy, he can't meet you. I'm also very busy. So at a point, and I've got a vehicle to do it anyway. So I said, okay, his loss, not mine. And we left. When we posted part of this story, he went to town on social media. I'm sure we all know what we're talking about. Yeah. And he's made a lot of noise. I reached out to him inbox and said, bro, you're a businessman. I'm a businessman. Let's not do this in public. So this is the story. If you didn't get it, then you have someone who's a gatekeeper. Because all the efforts we made are there, we can share it. But let's end it here. It's still not ended, but we have ended it. We're not going to say anything about it.
I would also like to use this opportunity to let you all know that we are all businessmen. The attitude to plan and executing that we brought to this is the same thing we took
Kasa because it's an history. I tried to speak to someone from Toyota, but I can't go ahead and do that without your permission. So I think from here today, we can come together and do something with Toyota so that you can get much funds to help your charity. And I also support that.
I welcome for everybody for here. I just closed the work, so if I'll go home to change and come back, I can't get the chance to get it again, so I come from work to here. And then one thing I wanted to ask you people, I travel well for West Africa. I work inside the desert. Sometimes I can see the armed robbers chop the cars about 10 or 20, everybody taking one leg, put it on top. And then today I wanted to tell my secret. And then sometimes we fold the money like this, your hand, we call it like a well bank, and put it on your ass inside. If they're setting you, they don't get the money. Sometimes you can get the big slapping or something like this. Say, why you travel, you don't have the money. And then you keep quiet. Sometimes if you don't take time they get some flour to put it inside the water to give it to you to drink it. Just in 10 seconds, you go to toilet. So the way I hear say that you people travel for that place, must carry my everything for that armed robbers. Because of sometimes they can choke the cars about 10 or 15, they don't care for anybody. So that particular thing for me, I did for my room and crying for you people. So I don't know how you do that journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My name is Nathaniel Kwesi Somwa. I run an NGO called Asuba Foundation in Ghana. We use sports to drive education. I'm also the head of media for Ghana Table Tennis Association. Team, one of the challenges we face as Ghanaians is that our history is usually oral. We do not document, so we tend to lose a lot of facts and data. Are you going to document this story so that in future our kids will also say that these people did this expedition? That's one key thing. Today this person says this, tomorrow that person says that. Who did it? Please, I would urge you to put it in a book. A book doesn't tell lies, so that nobody will come and adulterate it. This is something that we should all learn as a nation. It's one thing that we can all pick that book and tomorrow build upon it. Secondly, this trip that you've taken has motivated a lot of people. I know in our part of the world, people do not like supporting people when a project starts. But I would urge our leaders to give us that helping hand. Even when we are down, let them just give us that encouragement that you can do it. Even if it's not money, that's motivation. That is what will drive us. Because I have a project with the International Table Tennis Federation that's worth about 30,000 euros to help 200 school kids to learn in school. I didn't get the support that I really needed, but the whole of Africa, only 2 organizations have won that grant, and my NGO is one of them. So I asked myself, I didn't get all that support that I needed, but I was able to put Ghana on the map. These are my seniors. Accra Saka is my senior from Achimota School. He's put Ghana on the map. We can all do it. I'm encouraging our leaders to give us the kind of support that we need. It's not only about money, it's about that morale booster that will push us to achieve whatever we have to achieve. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll take 2 more questions and then Ms. Ghana will speak.
Thank you very much. My name is Vince, CTFM Accra. I want to find out from our men what motivated you to pick UK and not any other country. And also, I'm aware, apart from former Libyan president who drove from Libya to some of the West African countries, this is the first time I've heard this is such a journey from Africa to Europe. And what I can also ask from you, this journey is more like a United Nations journey, because all the countries that you drove through are part of United Nations. So do you have any plan, as we have our excellency here, if maybe United Nations will have some education about this, and also Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Immigration Service, and all the government agencies, everything that you've learned throughout your journey, what you can tell them so that they can also explain more in details as the service that they do.
Thank you very much. I don't know if that was the question, or do you want to fill that? You want to speak to that? Anyway, so let's hear from Miss Ghana UK 2022. And then you.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency, Deputy High Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. My name is Eunice Mami Ajwa Boatima Dupoku. I'm here representing the Miss Ghana UK and the Miss Ghana UK Foundation. I would like to firstly say Akwaba to you all. Welcome and congratulations on this amazing journey that you have embarked on. I'm just sat here and I'm just smiling because this is inspirational for a young lady like me. I'm standing on behalf of the youth. And when I heard about this on social media, I thought, wow, I've never seen anything like this before. And just like what everyone has said, you know, some of the questions people have already asked, what I wanted to ask. One of my questions was, why the UK? Why did you decide UK was your final stop? And also, on behalf of the foundation, we have so many initiatives that we do, both in the UK and in Ghana. And one of the charities that you mentioned is one of the initiatives that we support, supporting young people in Ghana in their education, women empowerment, youth empowerment. And for me in particular, you mentioned about technology and the digital products, and that's something that I really want to. I started anyway, but that's something I really want to continue after my reign. So even from today, I would love to speak to you about how we can collaborate, how we could patronize your services as well. And as businessmen as well, I'd like to pick some tips from you on how to take Miss Ghana UK further, not just here, but globally as well. And also my question is, what's next from here? I'm sure after doing this, you're gingered up to, just conquer the world. So what's next for us, and how would you also bring the youth into this? I know a gentleman asked a question about documenting this, and I'm such a big person of documenting journeys. And apart from writing in a book, is there any other way you would document it so that it's stamped in history? It should be taught in schools that there were once young men and ladies who embarked on this journey, and as youth, you can do so as well. So I hope you got my question. Thank you so much.
What next? What's the other question? No.
Good afternoon. I'm Letitia Endro from MQL. Congratulations for your mission. You've just done 10,000 kilometers. Again, it was a question she asked, what's the next? Are you going to do 15,000?
Right, so what next? What next?
On a lighter note, what next? We need to get back and make some more money.
That's on a serious note.
We need to sell more houses so we can keep spending on these explorations. But more seriously, why the UK? Our favorite answer to any question is also a question. Why not? The world is a big space, and we keep saying the journey is a destination. It's not the destination we are going to, which is exciting for us, but the process of getting there. And that's why I wouldn't sit in a plane for 6 hours for this. I'd rather travel 18 days, 20 days, so I get to see a lot on the way. I get to experience different people, different cultures. You can't buy any experience than what we've gone through. It's awesome. So, what next? We don't know. We've spoken about South Africa, Cape Town from Accra. We've spoken about it. We've spoken about flying into Perth and driving to Brisbane and flying out. We've spoken about that. My knee is bad, so Everest, we shelved it. After Kilimanjaro, people were talking about Everest, and I said, the cold and my knee. I'm not going there. So we don't know where the wind blows us. After all, tomorrow is not ours. If we have life, whatever can.
I just wanted to tell our brother who took time after working, and I can imagine you're tired, to come all the way here just to understand that we really appreciate you coming in and sharing your concern. And it's concerns we all had, right? Which is why we did the investigations. That's why we consulted security people. And that's why throughout the certain parts of the... But I am sure that it is countless prayers of people like you who have felt this practically in their day-to-day lives. That's what's taking us here. So thanks so much for taking time to come here. Thank you.
So what's going to happen to the Class 1 insurance? How did you sort that out on the journey?
The documentation.
Or the documentation points, yes.